Good morning, good afternoon, and if you're coming home from a long day working a 9 to 5, hope you're having a good night as we bring to you another BodySlamNet exclusive, with today's guest being the current Intergender Bonanza Super Champion and the Viral Pro Wrestling Women's World Champion. She is the girl that goes beyond. She is your hero, Airica Demia. How are you doing this week?
It's actually Demia. No worries.
Demia. My apologies.
It's okay. And so many people get it. I should have said something beforehand. I usually do. I didn't think about it this time. That's on me.
No,
My bad.
No, that's on me as well. That's on me. My apologies.
Okay.
But how are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing my best to cope with an injury. I've really just been focusing on trying to eat healthy because I'm kind of a stress eater. So I know if I have healthy food in my fridge, I'll stress eat the healthy food rather than a bag of chips or an entire container of cookies. But could be worse,
It's good to see that you're doing well for yourself and, in your recovery in the last month or so, after suffering a broken finger, that is.
Yep.
I wanted to bring in this first question with you, to throw it back a little bit, to when you first started wrestling. So much has happened to you in the last 11 months, but in your first 6 months, you started your wrestling journey working with promotions like Pro Wrestling Turbo and Palmetto Championship Wrestling. How much did it help for you to wrestle and be around women like Brittany Jade, Selena Rose, Paris Van Dale, and Teal Piper, who have been in your boots before?
Honestly, it was very, very helpful. I was very fortunate to get women like them because all of them are like very accepting to newer people. Like there are so many vets that are like, I was there once, but they'll learn. Like it's not my job to be nice to them when it really is. Like you don't want to scare people away. Like I try to be nice to everybody. I'm also a people pleaser, but I'm also like, why wouldn't you want to invite more people in? But those ladies are absolutely fantastic. Like I learned so much from every match that I had with them. Like I had multiple matches with Selena Rose, who now goes by Mila Johnson, and Brittany Jade. Like we had so many matches, and I feel like every time we wrestle, it gets better and better. But it's also like I learn more and more because they've been wrestling at least a few years longer than I have. So they've been through quite a bit, especially down here in the Carolinas. It's really hard to find good women's wrestlers and like places that like train women the same way they train their men. So they've all been very, very helpful.
It's good. You want to be able to receive that equal love that the men get, the women get. Everyone wants to train to become a professional wrestler when you have a passion for this, and to be able to meet good minds, good people, and people who want to see you succeed just as much as they want to succeed. It's always fun to have inside of professional wrestling. So let's talk about 2024, a year that has seen you explode in the scene and show everyone that there is a new hero in town. You made your first stop at Pro Wrestling Turbo. Then you faced off against Jada Stone before making your way to your first Ring of Honor match, where you fought former AEW Women's World Champion Nyla Rose. Did it feel good to kick that feeling off of imposter syndrome out of the way, and at the moment when you reached a new year and started challenging more opportunities and venturing out there in your first 3 months?
Honestly, like when I showed up to the building that day for my Ring of Honor match, which I didn't know I was having until like fairly late in the day, like it was terrifying. Honestly, I was so scared. I was scared out of my mind. I was like, what if these people are mean? Because I don't know. I was bullied as a kid. This is just the first thing that pops in my head anytime I go somewhere new. But I was like, do I belong here? Yeah, I belong here. They wouldn't have invited me if I didn't, right? But man, getting to meet so many people and talk to people like that is just so eye-opening because like even though they didn't really like have full-on conversations with me, they still just talked to me in a way that was like, hey, you belong here, like you're good. You don't have to cower in a corner. Like you wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be here. And Nyla Rose was super cool to work with. Like I keep saying like a lot. I'm so sorry. This is probably getting really
You're good. You're perfectly fine.
But honestly, like wrestling her did really help with my imposter syndrome. I still have it because I'm a professional wrestler. What professional wrestler doesn't have imposter syndrome, at least sometimes, you know? But I would say it did help quite a bit. And I was so excited when I found out I had a match. I messaged my dad in all caps, and none of them were actual words. Like, I don't even remember what I said, but none of it was actual words. And he was like, "I'm sorry, what are you trying to say to me right now? What is that?"
So when you showed up that day, when did you find out when you were going to wrestle?
So I showed up probably around 2 p.m., I think. I don't know, this was quite a while ago. This is like several months ago. But I think it was like 2 p.m. was call time, or 1 p.m., something like that. I didn't find out until maybe an hour before the show is supposed to start, or maybe 45 minutes, maybe a little longer than that. I don't know. But it was pretty late in the day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But yeah.
And always ready on the go, and you were ready for the match. You put yourself in there front and center, and you got more eyes on you, as you've been getting for the last couple of months. More eyes on the product and more eyes on what you can do, everyone's favorite hero. So next question. This past May, you made your Hooligan Championship Wrestling debut against the current TNA Knockouts champion, Masha Slamovich. How excited were you when you did hear about the match getting excited? I was like, how excited were you when the match did get announced? And was that a dream match for you that you got to check off your bucket list when you stepped in against the Russian Dynamite?
Honestly, yes. It was like, I freaked out. I immediately sent it to my trainers. They were like, that's pretty cool, kid. Like, heck yeah. Some people were like, oh, you got to be careful. And I'm like, I trained, right? I can take hits. I'm tougher than I look, I promise. But she was so cool to work with. And we still, like, communicate with each other sometimes, which is also really cool. Like, I ask her for advice on things. Even though she's, like, big and mean, she's still like, I was in your shoes. Here's some advice. You got this. Just take this. I keep thinking I have my glasses on, so I keep going to grab them. I'm going to put those in my sight so I see them. The whole experience was just absolutely fantastic, and I learned so much from that match. And like, I really want a rematch with her. That's definitely at least one of the best matches I had this year, because she really just brought something out of me that I didn't know was there. Like I don't know what word I'm looking for here, but she just really, I guess, showed me how talented I actually could be and how much more I could be. Like,
She brought out that, wind out of you to show the world that, you know what, I can do this. I am better than I think I am. And I can go out there with the best and put on a big show.
Absolutely. You explained that perfectly. Thank you. Words do not leave my brain sometimes.
You're all good. You need that. Masha Slamovich has been a big help for you. Dream matches are something that, you want to achieve and you want to be able to go at. Speaking of Dream Wave had a event this past August titled Those Summer Nights, where you stepped in the ring with J-Rod and Brooke Havoc. It was your first time stepping in the ring, and it won't be your last. How do the nerves usually go before you step in the ring for a new promotion, such as Dreamwave, Shine, NWA Power, or Wrestling Open?
So some I feel way more nervous than others because, I don't know, I just kind of hype certain things up in my head. When I'm wrestling somebody that I've never wrestled before and it's a debut, like, I get really, really nervous because I'm like, I don't know if I have chemistry with this person. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know what they're like. I usually know roughly what their style is because I usually watch their matches before. But with Dreamwave, I don't find out who I'm wrestling till that weekend. So it's kind of hard to study when you have so much other stuff going on, like, during the day. And I'm like, I don't know anything about these people. What am I going to do? I I'm a very high anxiety person. I need to know what's going on beforehand so I can make a plan for it. Even if the plan goes awry, I still have a basis of a plan for something I can do. But if I'm in a situation where I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, I'm freaking out the whole time.
You need a plan A through Z.
Yes, pretty much. Usually I don't get to make the Z plan, but I'll come up with that on the spot. At least if I have a plan A, I had a plan A. It's like, oh well, I tried. But some is definitely more scary than others. Yeah, debuting is terrifying. My actual debut was way less terrifying than debuting in new companies for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was with people that I knew. But if I'm on a show where I don't know anybody, I'm like, this is scary. But I try my best not to have panic attacks because panic attacks will make you mess up because your brain stops working. I've actually gotten a lot better about that the last couple months-ish. Try my best.
It's always, and I know, of course, I'm proud of you for that. Everyone's proud of you. Your father's proud of you for that. A lot of people around you know that you're growing and you're getting better as the year progresses and as the new year comes. And I want to quickly ask you, how did it feel though when you did debut, or did you wrestle J-Rod and Brooke Havoc, those two women who you've been able to learn a little bit about, get good chemistry with, and also recently train with?
Honestly, they're also very great to work with. They're both very strong, and I'm not strong, but they're both like beefy, and I'm like, you leave my little arms alone. We're not going to talk about it. I'm going to pretend to be strong with you guys. That's kind of how I feel. But yeah, they're great to work with too.
In a world full of big shows, you always need a Rey Mysterio.
That was me in that match. Even though
exactly.
I'm taller than she's still stronger than me.
But the next question, August was a pretty big month for you regarding championship matches and wins. You stepped in at Valor Pro Wrestling to challenge for the vacant women's championship versus Savannah Evans before stepping in the ring about a week later to challenge Stan Styles for the IGP Super Championship, where you defeated Evans and Styles in back-to-back weeks to win back-to-back championships. Did you feel that sense of I belong here when you started finding your groove and winning these big matches in your young career?
Sort of. So, like I said, I do still have that imposter syndrome sometimes. But I mean, if I won a belt, I clearly, deserved it, right? Like I feel like that's not really a thing in my head that's like, hey, you don't deserve this, but it's gonna be won by you anyways. Like, I don't know where I'm going with my wordage here, but I feel like I earned those like fair and square. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
I definitely worked, even though Viral was my debut there, I still have worked my entire career, and I feel like I'm in a place where I do deserve something like that. I wasn't expecting to have two, but I won't complain.
Exactly. No, who's going to complain about winning back-to-back championships in back-to-back weeks? You won it the week prior, you win it the week later after that, and you're thinking to yourself,
like, I'm on top of the world right now.
Exactly. You feel like, you're just holding up both championships like Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, just holding up both the gold and like thinking to yourself, this is me. This is where I belong. And speaking of that and everything, when you did go in there and you feel those nerves heading into this big championship match, you faced Stan Styles before. You've been in the ring with people where, they have the odds against you. Do you ever feel to yourself that, maybe it's not going to work out in the end until like the very, very inch towards the end? Or do you feel like, you always are confident enough to win any single battle?
I don't know about being confident enough, but if there's something I'm good at, it's definitely overcoming odds. Because when I first started training, I was 100 pounds soaking wet. I'm like 150 now. Mostly muscle. Mostly. We're not gonna say all muscle. That's mostly muscle though. Because I like cookies and I like donuts and I like brownies. So I can't say it's all muscle, but it's mostly muscle. But like I said, I was 100 pounds soaking wet. All the odds were against me. I trained with a class full of guys who were all taller than me and bigger than me and just more athletic than me. But here I am.
Like, look at you. You've paid your due. You continue to pay your dues and you continue to get better each and every single month, each and every single night when you are out there wrestling. A while back, you mentioned in an interview with In Cat We Trust that you had a couple of dream matches, one of them being against Billy Starks, who currently wrestles for Ring of Honor and will be main eventing Final Battle against Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. You wrestled her at Hooligan Championship Wrestling, independent road taping, where you battled Starks and Maddie Monarch, where Starks picked up the win over you two. Did it feel good when you got to step in the ring with Starks? And would you like to, of course, do it again this time in a singles aspect?
It absolutely felt fantastic. Like I said, obviously, like with pretty much everyone else, fantastic to work with. Anyone's fantastic to work with if you yourself are fantastic to work with. It's just make it click. Just make it happen. I try to be. I'm not saying I'm great to work with. Sometimes I can be a bit of a pain because everybody can be a bit of a pain when calling sometimes. But yeah, I was kind of terrified when I first met her. I was like, oh my God, is she going to be mean? She looks like she could be very mean. But no, unexpectedly, very, very nice and very, very giving,
And it's good to see. How excited are you for her to be main eventing Ring of Honor Final Battle against Athena? And who are you rooting for when that match does happen?
I can't say I've ever met Athena, so I have to root for Billy Starks, especially since she beat me. No, but technically I had the match won. She stole the pin, but she won the match. She technically beat me, even though I didn't get pinned. I just got
lost on your record, but it's not like a knockout loss. You still stayed until the end. You went the distance.
Yeah, she technically cheated. Well, I wouldn't say cheated. It was dirty. It was unfair. That's what it was. But sorry, choking on my hair over here. But definitely.
Hopefully she hears this and thinks about like, you know what, let me give her a rematch singles match and let's see who can have the better the upper hand here between both very talented and young women. Since it is the time of giving and the lights are bright during the season, I have a couple of Christmas questions to ask you here. So here's one out of two of them. What is your go-to Christmas movie, and what Christmas movies are your biggest knots for going towards? Like, which ones do you like? Which ones do you not like? If you can name three of both.
Oh Lord. Okay. I love Home Alone and Home Alone 2. That counts for two that I like because it's two separate.
All right.
Home Alone 2, and then Disney's Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. It freaked me out when I was a kid because all those like spooky, scary ghosts and like the zombies at one point scared the life out of me. But I just think it has a really great message, and it's such a cheesy thing to say. I sound like a teacher, but I genuinely think it has a great message. Sometimes I lose sight of like why I chose a superhero gimmick, and stuff like that kind of gives it back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just remembering, hey, everybody's human. Everybody has their struggles. Help people as much as you can. That's really just, it helps. Ones that I don't like. Do I have Christmas movies I don't like?
Tough question, huh?
Yeah.
Tough question, huh? You think about it.
I feel like most people would struggle to choose three that they do like just combining it or narrowing it down to three, but I don't know if I have any that I don't like. I probably do. I'll tell you one, I refuse to watch the new animated Grinch movie. I refuse I refuse. I don't want to watch it. I'm afraid I'm
When
gonna
it
hate
came
it.
out about like 7 years ago, I believe it came out or so. I don't
That's
know. Like I think it.
oh my god.
I, I recently watched it and I heard a song that I used to always listen to from Brockhampton on it, and I was like, I feel so old. I'm gonna stop watching this. And I haven't. I didn't finish. I watched it towards like 20-30 minutes into it and turned it off. I couldn't do it.
That's so
But the animation looks good for it. But
yeah.
heading into the whole plot of it, it feels like just another rendition of the Grinch movies. I could just watch the very original classic. And when you do celebrate with your family and when you're not busy on the road, what is your favorite, Christmas day dish that you like to look forward to when you're not busy, having to get ready for a match and trying to, keep a diet going and trying to stay lean and fit?
Ooh. So my family usually does Mexican food on Christmas. So I always look forward.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that, but they do. And they're good at it. They make fantastic food. Like, I'm not going to complain. Like, it's delicious.
My family does a turkey.
See, we used to do that. And then one Christmas, my uncle was like, we're doing Mexican Christmas. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? And we haven't stopped since. So I usually look forward to the tres leches. It's my favorite cake of all time, and I only get it on Christmas.
It's that year-long wait for you. Holy moly.
Sometimes, like, the store-bought ones aren't as good as homemade, but sometimes I'll get it from the store. It's not as good. And my aunt makes delicious banana pudding. She just adds cinnamon to it, and it's so good. I love it so much. The desserts, that's the answer. My
all the desserts that you can get, you'll always put it on it. Just a whole table just full of desserts for you. And before I let you go though, I wanted to ask you this before you enter the new year. What are the 3 things you are most grateful for in 2024, and what are some of the things you're looking forward to in 2025 that you believe you can achieve when the time does come?
Number one, I'm most grateful for my dad, because if it weren't for my dad, I would not be here. This is my dad right here. That's him. Number 2 is my trainer, who is right there. That's my trainer. That's the only 8x10 I have of my trainer, and it's not even showing his face. It's literally his wife and his kid. But my dad, my trainer, because if it weren't for them, I absolutely would not be here. Well, my dad, literally, I would not be alive without my dad.
Exactly. You need a dad to be able to be alive,
Yes.
That whole process.
But they've both helped me so much on my wrestling journey. Like, my dad was my inspiration to become a wrestler in the first place. He's the one that I watched the anime my gimmick is based off with. He's helped me get good at cutting promos and just being creative with the way I look, with what I do, my moveset, everything. My trainer is my trainer. He does all of that stuff too. But I'm really, really glad that I chose the school that I did. I'm grateful for James D. Drake, because he's the one that told me to go to that school. That's not my third, but that goes in with being grateful for.
It goes in with every of the people that the people who are united in helping you get to this journey.
The people, for sure. I am grateful for Hooligan Championship Wrestling for booking me against Billy Starks and Masha Slamovich, because I learned so much from both of those matches. And I am grateful for all of the extra work and that stuff that I got to do this year. That's everything. Because I learned so much from all of that stuff. And next year, I hope to wrestle people like Billy Starks and Masha Slamovich way more, because I feel like I'm at a point in my career where I'm young and I still have a lot to learn, and wrestling people who are better than me, who are more experienced, who just have more things to teach me is the only way I'm going to really improve as much as I need and want to right now. So hoping for that. And if I can, I want to travel abroad. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset. but I would love for it to happen. Whether I go to the UK,
Is there
whatever.
any preference that you have, or is it just any place you'll be open to going to?
I really, really want to go to Japan, but I would not be opposed to going literally anywhere else. I would love to. I haven't wrestled in Canada yet. I need to go to Canada.
Like the Canada debut.
Absolutely.
Have you been to Mexico?
Nope. I haven't been there either. I haven't been out of my country.
You got to make all those debuts heading into this new year and heading into the next couple of years. Every single year, you got to just keep making all those bucket list dreams come true with the opponents and the arenas and all the places and promotions.
Yes.
Well, of course, thank you so much, of course, for this interview, for always being so nice and for allowing me to talk to you for I don't know how long minutes. I think it's 25 minutes. I think it was, but yeah, 25 minutes or so. But of course, where can the people find you if they want to follow their new hero?
The easiest way to find me is to Google my name, which is I have to navigate this right here. If you spell
right there.
There you go. If you spell it like that, if you just Google it, you'll probably find it way better than searching it into individual apps. Because you could just boop, click. I also have Patreon if anybody's interested. I have a $5 tier where it's nothing, like it's just like if you just want to support me and don't want like photo shoots or anything like that, I have a $5 tier. So there's that. It also goes all the way up to 50 if you are interested in that, but that's up to y'all. Yeah, I also have YouTube. I have a TikTok. I haven't posted on there in forever, but if you want to follow me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok.
I heard it recently is about to be suffering a ban, TikTok, like in the next 30 days or so. So hopefully everything goes well with all that so everyone can be able to keep posting their content on there. But exactly, you know what I mean? Because like it's some crazy news. But of course, thank you so much for this. The people can always, follow you anywhere where, they can find your name at, right there. And of course, thank you so much. Hope you have a great next week, a good Christmas, a good New Year. And when you're able to, get better from your injury, recover, and get back into the ring, you're going to take everything beyond, as you say. You'll take everything beyond, and it's going to be perfect. Exactly. Go beyond. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And everyone, you can subscribe to BodySlam, and you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, anywhere that you get your social media. You can follow us. You can follow me at Rami on Instagram, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter that much anymore, but you can still use follow Blue Sky, all sorts of places. Thank you so much. Have a great morning. Have a great day. Have a great night wherever you are, and we will bring to you another BodySlam.net exclusive. Thank you very much.